Chris Christie used his helicopter to get a bird's-eye view of the GWB traffic snarl.
More subpoenas are going out.
He's given a big speech at the Chicago Economics Club.
The last 6 weeks haven't been the most enjoyable in my life, I can guarantee you. On the other hand, the fact is we need to do our work.
He's got a U.S. attorney on his tail.
If I had a U.S. attorney on my tail, I wouldn't be in San Bernardino. I would be in New Jersey.
Christie needs to understand that the public was the victim of Bridgegate.
The public in New Jersey won't tolerate it.
When we started to ask why this happened, he mocked us.
The bully label has now really affixed itself.
This is his chance to prove he can do more than one thing at a time.
This is not walking and chewing gum.
This is riding a unicycle, juggling chainsaws.
Turning your mess into your message, you have to be not guilty.
Either the governor knew and he is lying, or he is the most inept, incompetent chief executive imagined.
A god-awful winter that I wish would end yesterday.
Protests calling for his resignation, another battle with the national newspaper, and 18 more subpoenas. It is no wonder Governor Chris Christie is getting out of town. Today, Christie landed in the city of Chicago, making his third out-of-state trip since Bridgegate began. Speaking at a press conference at the Economic Club of Chicago, Christie addressed the albatross hanging around his neck and blamed his staff.
People who work for me made some significant mistakes in judgment. And when you're the leader of that organization and you're confronted with that, the first thing that happens to you, it happened to me, was extraordinary disappointment. Extraordinary disappointment that people that I had trusted had made such bad judgments that had not told the truth. I don't think that it will curtail, for the long haul, a second-term agenda, because I think the public in New Jersey won't tolerate it.
As Christie was busy in the second city, nearby Democrats held a news conference. Former Ohio Governor Ted Strickland announced that Christie was either lying or incompetent. And in the Garden State, victims of the Fort Lee lane closures were holding a protest in front of the George Washington Bridge, calling on the governor to resign if he was involved in the lane closing. While all of this was happening, Christie's office decided their best strategy was to take on the second largest newspaper in the country. In an email sent a few hours ago with the subject line, "Setting the record straight again" on the New York Times, the governor's office issued a full-throated defense that read more like a slightly unhinged offense. Christie's office said it was correcting comments made by Times reporter Kate Zernike on this network earlier today. But like other Christie emails before it, the message read less like a fact check or a message from a governor's office and a lot more like an angry screed on an internet comment board. For example, myth number 1 from the New York Times: Christie administration efforts to gather all the facts are actually an attempt to threaten people. And then, actual fact: Governor Christie has promised a thorough and complete review so something like this never happens again, and hiring a third party to assist with fact gathering and meeting with those involved are first steps in that process. Okay? The okay is mine. Then there is myth number 4. Reporter Kate Zernike says the governor's office operation have shut down. Actual fact: in keeping his word about not letting anything get in the way of his doing his job, the governor has kept a robust public schedule in the last few weeks, including his 110th town hall meeting scheduled, by the way, for this Thursday. There was no mention of Kate Zernike's shady behavior as a 16-year-old or her controversial tenure at the New York Times. But for Team Christie, the dog-eared playbook calling for direct hits, untamed aggression, and questionable syntax seems to be very much still in use.